Hey, peace and blessings to you. My name is Jerry B. I am the EntreMusician, and so are you. Welcome to the EntreMusician podcast. This is the space where we concentrate on the mindset, discipline, and focus of the EntreMusician. In today's episode, no exception. Happy New Year 2025. It's going to be an incredible year for sure. A game changer personally and professionally. I hope you came across the threshold, strapped in, seat belts firmly in place, because it's going to be an absolutely wild ride. Are you ready for it? I know I am. I believe I am, I should say. But welcome to season 7. This is episode 1 of season 7, and there's a lot of tremendous things that we have in store. I mean, I'm grateful to announce that we have some excellent additional team members joining us as hosts here on this podcast. I'm absolutely grateful to them, and I'm grateful for them because their contributions are going to significantly expand the palette for the EntreMusician podcast. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about more of them in just a minute. But before I do, I'm going to ask you to do something. Now, I really have not done this much in the past before, but I'm going to start asking you to do this more often, okay? Simply just hit the like button, click the notification icon. Most importantly, do this for me. Please share this episode and all of the episodes of the EntreMusician with another entrepreneurial musician that you know will enjoy this podcast, that would appreciate the topics that we bring to the table, and you know that they're going to get a lot of value out of this podcast. Is very, very important. One of my heart's desire for this new year is to really expand not just the platform of the EntreMusician, that's okay, but to really expand the knowledge that we're going to bring to this platform to help so many of you. And I'm excited for what's going to happen. I'm excited to add to the team. We have 2 wonderful ladies, both incidentally happen to be fearless Canadians, and grateful to have them both on the team. The first from Leamington, Ontario. She's an astonishingly wonderful singer-songwriter and musician, and she's been in the EntreMusician family for about a year or so, I believe. But Linda writes and she sings these incredibly fantastic songs. She has a magnetic spirit, and she's truly going to bring some excellent conversations and topics to this coming season. Her name is Linda Rain. Check her out. Check out her music. And I've already listened to her first podcast episode. It'll be coming up in a couple weeks. An absolute wonderful addition to the team. And then also from Toronto, very prolific, brilliant songwriter, vocalist, and although she does not play an instrument, and many of her tunes are a cappella, she calls herself the Helen Keller of music, right? That's what she calls herself, but she embodies the entire emotion of her songs when you listen. And the songs in which she's able to collaborate with other musicians and producers, they're simply over the top. I mean, she is one of the finest young ladies you'll ever meet, and we're grateful that she's on our team. You're going to enjoy her spirit. You're going to enjoy her incredible experiences that she's going to share, and most of all, you're going to really appreciate her heart. Her name is Anna Nicholson. She's a sister for real. You may have seen her on some previous podcasts as I have interviewed her about her songs, but she's joining the EntreMusician team. Absolutely. And although this brother that I'm going to introduce, he's already started with us last year. He's recorded 2 podcast episodes with us, but he's really coming on strong in 2025. In fact, his first episode of the season begins next week, so he will be here and I won't. And this is none other than producer, mixer, and Dolby Atmos engineer, Mr. Danny Jones from Katy, Texas. Now, this brother has worked with literally, I'm saying this, he has worked with the who's of the music business for many, many years, working alongside none other than Alan Toussaint as his personal engineer. And he has engineered records for Patti LaBelle, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Etta James, Ramsey Lewis, Gerald Albright, Bobby Blue Bland. I mean, the list literally goes on and on and on. If you go to his website at Danny Jones Productions, then you will see, boom, just a mass of people. Most recently, Dan mixed the Al Green's Greatest Hits collection, and he mixed it into Dolby Atmos. He carries a wealth of wisdom and has already compiled a host of legendary guests whom he's going to be sharing various conversations with us here on the EntreMusician podcast. You're going to be very, very, very appreciative of what he brings to the table. And this is already their inclusion, Linda and Anna and Danny, their inclusion with our already wonderful hosts, Daryl Looney, Linda Bolero, Robbie Cunningham, and hopefully you think, myself too. I'm going to still be here. So put your seatbelts on tight, but you're going to see some great expansion here on the podcast. Now, what I would like to talk to you today about, however, is not necessarily the EntreMusician podcast, not necessarily the platform topics and whatnot, but I want to talk about you. Okay, I want to talk about you as a person, you as a creative spirit. I want to talk about you living your life exceptionally, purposefully, and carefully. Now, I want to say with regard to that this is not the, New Year's speech. This is not the rah-rah episode. This is not a pep talk session or anything like that. I don't want to get you hyped up and excited about the possibilities of the new year. Yay! This is not even about planning and goal setting or intentionality. As important as these topics are, and if you know anything about me, you know that those are indeed important topics. But this episode is really about who you, my friend, are becoming. It's about what you are choosing or perhaps have already chosen to be. The essence of you. Can we talk about that? Because in this forever changing, constantly drifting universe that is the music industry, at whatever level you're at, beginner, intermediate, independent, major label artist, it's drifting and changing all the time with emerging technologies, with shifting infrastructure, which in many ways only obfuscate, distract, and perhaps even malign why you are really here in this space in the first place. It maligns or obfuscates or distracts why you are a musician. Can you dig it? See, many people have said this before. It's not original to me, but I'm sure you've heard this. And it says, if you do not know your why, it doesn't matter what you do or don't do. You dig it? If you don't know your why, you can do whatever you want or not do whatever you want, and it will not matter. This is a true statement because your why actually will determine what you won't do. Okay, you'll just drift doing anything, but what you won't do actually matters. I want you to dig into that for a second, okay? Your why will determine what you won't do, and you will be confident in not doing whatever that is because you know that you don't have to, because that's not who you are, right? You understand? 1 million people, 1 million other musicians and artists may be doing that. And many thought leaders and, many inspirational coaches may be saying that you must do that too. You must. Everybody's doing it. You must. But if you have a strong why, your why tells you, no, you don't. That's not who you are. And that's not what you do. It's almost like swimming against a strong current, swimming upstream when everything and everybody's going downstream. Now, this is, my friend, the true definition of success, spiritually, creatively, and practically. You know who you are, but you also know why you are. And that's what we're discussing today. Okay? Now, for some of you who, especially if you've taken my course before, this may be a reminder. But for several of you, this may be new material and you've never heard of this before, but it's all based on my best-selling book, The Path of the EntreMusician. If you haven't gotten a copy of this, it's available on Amazon. I'm grateful that this book has been a viable part of the curriculum at the prestigious iClassical Academy in Italy. In fact, they told me it's one of their most watched courses for their students. So what I'm going to tell you, it's a little thin book, but really it's based upon the path of the EntreMusician. And it's also based on the foundation of why this vibrant EntreMusician community exists in the first place. 3 words. If you've been here longer than 5 minutes, you know what they are. Mindset, discipline, and focus. That's what we're about. See, we say that mindset, and this speaks right into your why. Mindset is a position. Mindset is a fixed position that we take, whether we're playing offense or defense, right? Did I say office? Offense or defense, whether we're an artist or a producer, a writer or singer, whatever we do. With mindset, you make an agreement with yourself. And you know that you're not going to breach the contract. You're fixed and you're on target. And again, for both what you will always do and or what you will never do. With mindset, you are absolutely determined to succeed, but not at all costs. See, that's the thing. Oh, I'm going to succeed at all costs. No. Listen to me. You're going to succeed, but you have already predetermined what the costs are in your heart and in your mind. You've already gone through the process of thinking through what it's going to take, planning how you're going to get there, being of a sound heart and mind to make sure you do. So you have a strong mindset. You also have extreme discipline. And EntreMusicians say that discipline is a progression. So while mindset is fixed, it's a position and it's settled, discipline moves you forward because you can measure your progress by doing those things over and again, which actually leads toward success. Can you dig that? With discipline, you're incrementally increasing your ability to master the necessary skills to improve your abilities. That's discipline. And I know I'm giving you the Cliff Notes version, but these words are powerful. Mindset, discipline, and focus. So with a sharp focus, with a keen insight that looks beyond the obvious into the invisible, focus allows you the capacity to look for those elements which lie beneath the surface. Now, in this industry, there's a lot of surface stuff. There's a lot of things that are on the table. But you and I, as sharp, focused EntreMusicians, we need to know how to look beneath that surface. And focus and applying focus accordingly is you being able to refine your ability to discern with clarity what is actually happening. Think about that for a second. What's actually going on? Not what you're being told is happening. Not what somebody is leading you to believe, but what you absolutely know is happening. This is real. To actually pause and read the fine print and even discern the pages that are not even printed. I hope you understand that. I mean, there's some things in the contract that's not printed. There's some expectations that are kind of suggested, subliminal. But you understand clearly what the expectations are, and then you can decide if they fit into your why. Now, that's what this year, 2025, is all about. And these are the things that we are teaching in the EntreMusician. Now, I already know that I'm talking to someone who's watching this or listening to this, and you've tried everything. At least that's the way you feel. I've tried everything, and I just figured, why do it again? Why bother with it? I know I'm talking to you. Or worse, I could be talking to someone who has decided, well, I'm going to do it all again. But, it's not going to change, so I'm just going to do it at the same level because that's the way it is. So why change anything? Or why try harder? And sometimes that's worse than not trying at all. Worse than quitting. You understand what I mean? I'm talking to someone who thinks that perhaps they're too old and time and opportunity has passed them by. And even though the desire, which is burning through their chest, their heart is beating like that, but their own limiting beliefs stop them at the door. Is that you? Is your heart beating through your chest? Huh? But you got this belief that you can't do it, that time is over, the window of opportunity is closed. So, you get to the stage door, but you never cross through the threshold. You never cross the line. Well, make this the year that you say yes to you. Make 2025 the year that you walk up, that you walk into and through what you know you deserve to have. Now, again, listen, I said it at the beginning. I'm not trying to sound like your 8th grade basketball coach. I'm not, get in there, you can do it. Listen, this is real life we're talking about. This is your career. This is music, which is spiritual and important to express through your vessel. And I want to remind you that you were born with everything that you need to fulfill your purpose. It's already there. Now, many of us, plenty of us, look outside of ourselves for what we feel we need. Oh, it's outside. It's something that we have to go out and get. But the truth is, we're already born with it. It's inherent within us. Now, it is our responsibility to find it. It is our responsibility to train it, our responsibility to build it up and to sharpen it and shine it and tweak it. That is our responsibility. But we must acknowledge that we already have it. And then we must get on with it. Period. Get on with it. Now, one of the ways to really get on with it, I found, is by naming it. Okay, you name it. You give it a nickname, and whether you do that to yourself personally, I have a nickname for myself. I'm not going to share it with you, at least not today. But I have a nickname for myself, and I do talk to myself with positive self-talk and affirmations, and they absolutely work. I suggest it to you with an open hand. But you can also not only name yourself, but you can name your year, you can name your month, you can name your day, and it's extremely effective. For example, I've given the year 2025 a name. I've named it. And the name, or the nickname, I should say, for 2025, I'm calling this is my year of narrowed expansions. Kind of sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it? But this year, there are some things that I need to cut out. I knew that last year, and I am going to narrow my focus significantly. In fact, I've already set up my mindset to do so and to sharpen in on some major elements which need to expand and grow. So you got all of these things happening and nothing's really growing. Why? Because all of these things that I've had in place have been choking out the time so that these things that I feel should be growing and should be blossoming can't. I mean, last year, just at a snapshot, in addition to doing this weekly podcast, I did 2 TV shows. I wrote and produced music. I released 6 singles. I worked with other artists. I got deeper into sync and was writing for a lot of different libraries. I developed a course. That was good, right? I started work on my second book, but I was doing all of these things. It was just about activity. All the while, I was trying to have a life, right? I was trying to improve my marriage and my family and keep my sanity on point. Now, yeah, all of these things are good, right? All of these things are nice and special and cute. And it's nice to be able to say, yes, I'm doing this. And, oh, yeah, we're doing that. And, yeah, we just developed this. But not all of these were great in the sense that there was always tremendous overlap. So here's what 2025 is. It's about narrowing that focus, okay? That narrow expansion, so I can only concentrate on 4 central things which matter most to me personally and professionally, and these are the only things I'm going to concentrate on this year. I also gave these 4 things names categorically, so I'm really trying to hone in on it, right? But I'm concentrating on my faith, continuing to build my faith. I am a man of faith. I am a Christ follower. And so I'm honing in on that. I'm honing in on my marriage and my family. I'll be married 30 years this coming April. I'm honing in on my funky jazz music, right? And I'm honing in on a foundation, a pro-life foundation that my wife Lori and I are starting this year. So there are 4 things that I'm concentrating on, and I'm breaking those 4 things down even further just to sharpen the focus. But you get the idea, right? So 2025 is about Jerry being crystal clear. So I'm not chasing my tail, but I'm running toward the targets and the prizes that I'm setting for myself. Everything else must go. Yep, I'm putting some very good things on the shelf. And the word no is going to be a very, very important word to me this year. I'm going to practice saying it, because I don't like to say no, but I'm going to practice in the mirror saying, no, I'm sorry, I cannot. So, yeah, that's great, but no, thank you. Because if the activity doesn't align with my 4 why buckets, then I won't be involved. Okay? Now, those things that I'm looking at shelving this year and just putting it doesn't mean that maybe next year or maybe a couple years from now that I won't pick them back up again. Maybe not. But as far as 2025 is concerned, my attention is fixed and my attention is focused. Now I need to ask, what about you? What about your year? Are you determined to live out your why? The reason why you're on this planet? Have you named your year? If not, why not? Name your year, name this month, name the day, be specific, and make it a point, make it central that you live out your why as broadly or as specifically and clearly as you're able. Some of you may want to live it out from a broad standpoint, and that's fine. This is your career. This is your life we're talking about. But however you wish to define it, if you do need some help, please reach out to us at the EntreMusician. This is what we do, okay? And it all begins with conversations. That's how this family has grown. It begins with conversations. It builds into community. It leads into coaching, and it develops into collaboration. The EntreMusician is wonderful. It really is. It's organic, it's encouraging, it's challenging, it's supportive, and it's completely necessary in helping you to nurture your career and your growth, especially if you are a musician who's over the age of 50 years old. Now, in just a few weeks, by God's grace, I will be 60 years old, right? And I look back over the few years that we've been together, I know that the family members here in the EntreMusician have been a great and powerful help to me, to help me to learn and grow and to expand. And I promise you, it's going to be that good for you should you choose to join us. And I do hope you do. All you have to do is schedule a call with me right here, and we'll make it happen together. Because this year, really, it's all about living out your why. It really is. It really is. It's about living out your why and doing what God created you to do, what He placed in you to do, and then put you here on this little ball called planet Earth to make it happen. Let's do it together. My name is Jerry B. I appreciate you spending this time with me, these few minutes. And again, I hope that you would just like and subscribe to this channel, share this video, share this channel with others. And we're going to grow, right? My name is Jerry B. I am the EntreMusician, but here's what's most important. Take this to heart. So are you. We will see you next time. God bless.